My name is Arvind Kala and I live in Delhi. 5 days ago, two Sardar males were attacked on the New York sidewalk, and I saw pictures of one of them, his beard disheveled, his turban had come off, and he was sitting dazed by the assault. And I have one question to ask of these Sardars. Why the hell do you go to America and dress up like America's worst enemy, Osama bin Laden? Osama bin Laden wore a turban. You, Mr. Harjeet Singh, you wear a turban. Osama bin Laden had a beard, a long flowing beard. You have a long flowing beard, Mr. Harjeet Singh. So why the hell do you go there? You're not a Muslim. Why do you dress up like America's worst enemy? And then naturally you invite assaults on this. This is not just irrational, it's insane. Why should you attract this kind of thing? I'm reminded of a lovely Hindi saying, "Aa bail mujhe maar," which means come bull and gore me. That is what it's asking for. And I know in the last 5-7 years, there have been isolated the happenings of Sikh, turbaned Sikhs, turbaned bearded Sikhs being killed in hate crimes, sitting somewhere in a gas station and a white comes along and he shoots you dead. Now, if they didn't have that turban and if they didn't have the beard, they would still be alive. And so what the hell? What does it mean? You've left Jalandhar to get shot in America? Why the hell don't you be like that? Why don't you conform? Why must you go there and look like a Muslim terrorist? This is absolutely very, very foolish. And now the other day, there was a turbaned Sikh, bearded Sikh. He wanted to enter a pub in London. The pub said, "You take off your turban." So that fellow said, "No, I'm not taking it off." So they said, "Go away." I've seen, I think this Hardeep Puri, one of the ministers of Modi, going to America or something, and they wanted to take off his turban to see it, that whether he was hiding a weapon or whatever. And he objected and he said, "I've been insulted, etc., etc." Those guys didn't care. They said, "You don't know, you don't like it, go back, man, go back." So this kind of thing, and I've seen this, is peculiar to, it's not just peculiar to our Sardars, it's true of Muslims also. I remember the case of a Muslim woman in Australia, an Australian citizen, who had gone to a law court and she refused to get up when the judge came in. And the judge said, "Why aren't you getting up?" And she said, "I get up only for Allah. Allah." He said, "You want me to jail you right away?" She got up. I remember another Muslim stewardess in an airline saying that, she wouldn't serve liquor to passengers because it was against Islam. My God, why the hell did you join an airline? Did you think they'd be drinking Gangajal in the plane? Come on, man, get real. Stop flaunting this thing. That way, hats off to we Hindus and Christians also. I mean, why should I announce that I'm a Hindu, but I could be a Jew, I could be a Muslim, I could be a Christian, I could be anything. So it's not needed, but I find it a peculiar Indian trait. Now, the Vietnamese conforms, the Japanese conforms, the Chinese conforms, the entire Southeast Asia and East Asia, they conform, but not us. We always try and grab attention. No, we should get attention by our deeds and by the work we do, not by how we project ourselves. And, Mr. Modi is also squarely to blame for this. Sitting on a swing with Xi Jinping, etc., that I have a special relationship with him. And how did Xi Jinping reciprocate that relationship? He grabbed Ladakh. In another, this thing with Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, and Modi had staged this. He and Netanyahu were walking barefoot on a beach. What the hell? Yeah, what is this gimmickry about? So, I mean, stop doing this. It's not needed. And this way, I think it's absolutely disgraceful. And this attention grabbing or whatever. And in that context, I would add one thing. One thing about talking about, in Indian marriages, why does the groom have to sit on a horse when he never sits on a horse otherwise? And he puts a turban on his head. And they all dress up he dresses up like a Maharaja. But you're a goddamn commoner, man. Why the hell are you dressing up on like a Maharaja on one day And after that, you're never going to wear that achkan which cost you 20,000, 40,000, 50,000. And you can't go around selling your old achkan which you won't need because people will think you're a cheapskate. I remember going as a barati, as a bridegroom side people, and after we had been greeted, etc., we had turbans on our head, and after we had been greeted, a fellow came and whipped the turbans off our head. Apparently, the bridegroom's mother had rented these turbans, and after the work was over, the turban renter was going somewhere to plonk those turbans on some other barati heads. So this kind of, it's absolutely nonsense. And I don't know why we do it. And talking about Sardars and South Asians in America, they need to conform more because we Indians in America are extremely rich. Our median income, family income is $126,000. We earn around 80% more than a white family. So you go there and you start doing all this. Why? What for? I mean, there's a simple rule of life. It's a cliche. Do in Rome as the Romans do. I remember many years back going to London. I didn't have a suit and I didn't have a tie. I borrowed my tenant's suit, his tie. I entered my hotel room in London, wore my suit, wore my tie, and I came out John Smith. And wherever I went, I found I'm not a loaded guy. And I used to go to pubs, etc., and they treated me with a hell of a lot of courtesy. But the Indian will go and say, oh, shout and all that. Sunita kahan ja rahi hai and all that Oxford. See, people start ready. And a lot of Indians, that way, these feminists are to blame. These Delhi's hairy feminists. They'll go somewhere and start eating with their hands. Now, that is repulsive. These feminists, they don't get married and they want to announce their presence this way. They start eating with their hands in a setting where they're Anglo-Saxons, which is repulsive to a white man. They use a spoon or they use a fork or this. They don't put their hands, and it is absolutely revolting to them. So wherever you are, my Mr. Harjeet Singh or Mr. Mohammad Aslam or whatever it is, wherever you just conform wherever you are. Why the hell do you leave your own countries and start projecting your Sikh faith there? Then why the hell did you leave Jalandhar? What did you do all that for? Well, friends, I think I'll bid you. Please send it to everybody, and and I'll bid you farewell and see you later, alligator.